A very good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mamas and papas. I am Jimmy, and this is Budweiser's Kings of Football show. I am ready to get into it. The weekend is about to get interesting as we'll be talking all things Premier League. I have special individuals in studio with me today. Yes, the most... what's the word I'm going to use? He really gets under my skin, but you know, the fans love him because he's anti-Arsenal. Ladies and gentlemen, please let me introduce you to our regular but ever so smart and ever so insightful with his analysis. The one and only Pooja is in the studio. Pooja, what's good, bro?
I'm good. Your energy have to be high because of what is actually going on.
Oh my God.
That's why, I'm actually not in that mode today because back-to-back Arsenal have been doing good. The pressure have been good. But hopefully, let's see what happens. Top of the table, scale through the Champions League, round of 16. But of course, the season still continue. 10 games to go and a lot of games to go in the Champions League.
I see you're a bit calm. I believe you know who is at the top of the table, right?
Arsenal.
Oh, yeah. Say it again, please. Just one more. I just need to hear it.
But joint top, though.
No, can you speak facts? Based on goal difference, who is at the top of the Premier League table?
Arsenal Football Club.
Wonderful.
He doesn't like saying that.
That's the best way to start your day.
He doesn't like saying that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a guest in the studio, and he is, as Pooja mentioned, the energy in the room is different, and that's why you're about to find out exactly why the energy is different. You understand? Because there's a certain energy that is in the house. You understand? Even giving me enough oomph, enough boost, enough ginger. You understand? Ladies and gentlemen, my brother, my friend, he is, of course, everybody's favorite, and you know why. Ladies and gentlemen, Neo Energy is in the house, yo. My brother, what's going on?
I'm good, my G. How you doing, man?
See that smile.
Why is it like that?
Thank God none of my sisters are available. If not, there would have been a problem. I would have sold them off to you.
I'm big. How's it going, my G?
How you feeling, brother?
I'm good. Good to be here, man.
Good to see you, my bro.
Thanks, my G.
Yeah, some people don't know what team you support.
It's Arsenal. Like I was just saying, Pooja did not like, admitting the fact that Arsenal is on top of the table right now. Like you could tell from inside of him that he was not happy saying it. When you asked him, I was like, which team is on top of the table right now? Well, no, my brother, I understand.
Take heart.
Take heart.
I mean, it's the elephant they say, but this elephant they go gym, so it's very fit. Speaking of the gym, I saw you in the gym the other day. How do you always stay fit though? How often do you work out?
I mean, I try to do like 5 times a week.
5 times a week?
At least 5 times.
I mean, I'm catching up. I do 3 times a week.
You try, man. I see. You're kicking it.
So we want to look at the season so far. Who do you think is getting relegated? Who do you think is going to be struggling to get to the top 4? And of course the title race as well. But Tottenham started like a house on fire. Top of the table. Everybody was scared. They had the longest unbeaten run in the league at the time. And all of a sudden they've kind of fallen off. But they're about still fighting for the top 4 positions. Trying to push Aston Villa and Manchester United. Can't even remember their name. Manchester United. Trying to push them back down. If the season were to end today, would you say Ange Postecoglou should be manager of the season?
Well, I don't think so. Critically, they have done a good job. He has done a good job. When he came in, they lost, the Hurricane, one of the best striker or even the best striker in the league, a lot of goals.
It pains me to admit it.
When a striker like that, with 30 goals per season, leaves your club with a new manager, with a new captain, it takes the grit out of that team. But he has done well. They have a very torrid November, December, but they're back on the fold. And remember, they defeated Aston Villa, and that's a good point because, Arsenal went to Aston Villa, got defeated. Man City went to Aston Villa, got defeated. And when you get that one over the rival when it comes to top 4, I think it's a big boost. But going all the way and saying maybe he's going to be the manager of the season, I don't think so, because you have a lot of guys in the fold.
If you were to give manager of the season, who would you be looking at?
Right now, unfortunately, I'll pick Arteta. When
There's nothing unfortunate about that.
When the manager comes from 8-8,
Yep.
And of course now he's now in the Champions League, in the Champions League sport. Now he has done something different. 7 years in court Arsenal failed to qualify to the quarterfinal, and now he has done it. So in the last 3 years, he has done incredible job at Arsenal. So if you want to say manager of the season with what he has done, I think I'll go with Arteta. But if Unai Emery, with the club status, with the players he has, if he moves to top 4, finish with top 4, I'll go with Unai Emery.
Who would you say would be your manager of the year?
Well, for me, I'm very strong on consistency. Do you understand? It's not really about you coming in and rattling it up and just changing it. You understand? It might be a good spirit for the players, and all of that. But it still takes it still takes someone who knows what he's doing to be able to do it first time, second time, third time, fourth time. You understand? And I feel like Liverpool as well. Like it just shows, the level of leadership and how impactful it is for the players, because for them to be able to use the young players to be doing what the senior players are supposed to be doing on the team, and they're popping, and they're still on top of the leagues, and they're still out there and still making stuff happen. And then you have the third team on the other hand, which I feel like they're the most consistent, and City, it's almost it's almost like you can overlook the hard work of the manager or whatever at the time. But I still feel like for Arsenal, I feel like why Arsenal is so great and why people can relate to it, because I feel like just like Pooja is always happy that Arsenal is losing. I feel like there's a lot of impact when it comes to Arsenal losing, and a lot of people are not so familiar with that. And I feel like that is why Arteta's handwork is really in people's faces
it's showing real back. Yeah. So we're definitely. I mean, it's a rivalry, so to speak, because we're talking about Ange Postecoglou, but the overwhelming factor is just based on performance this season alone. The fact that Arsenal last season were top of the league for at least how many weeks were there? If there were 38 weeks in the season, Arsenal was top of the league for 35 of that, and still lost the league. Damn. I know, right? It's so painful. But yet again, we're back again now, and they're top of the table. They've broken the curse of the quarterfinals of the Champions League. So, in essence, if you're looking at the top 4, and who should get into the top 4, you would tip Tottenham to get that 4th position ahead of Aston Villa?
I think so. I think so. They have a lot of their players are playing well now. From Kulusevski to to Son to the guy from Nottingham Forest. So they are all playing well. And if you have, like I said about Man City, when one is off, another one comes up, and that's what is going on with Arsenal as well. So when your 4 or 5 players are in form, I think it's a good stuff for you. And they are not in any competition, talking about sports. Right. So they are fresher. And of course, every time they go all out, because if you look at their system, it's a fast-paced kind of tactics for him. And they've done a good job for doing that. And when you have a game in hand and you're just 2 points behind Aston Villa, and you just defeated Aston Villa at Villa Park, I think they are, they are top favorite to finish top 4.
It's time for us to get into our X Space, and do know that while we're doing this, we're live on X Space, where we get audience reactions and we get everybody's thoughts on what the topic is today. Of course, the hot topic, we're talking about Tottenham Hotspur. How well do you think they will be able to secure 4th position, and do you think their manager is worthy of being called manager of the season? There are other managers that have done well. Gary O'Neill of Wolves has performed extremely well as well. So there are a number of people doing that, but let's go into our X Space real quick. Stanley, if you're ready to talk to me.
Okay, good morning, guys. Are you hearing me?
Stanley, Alpha, where are you reaching us from?
From Cape Town, South Africa.
No wonder.
I want to
everything is working nice. I believe you. How are you, Stanley? What team do you support?
Liverpool.
Oh, Liverpool. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question after this question I'm going to ask you now. The question I want to ask you is about Tottenham, right? We're going to talk about Liverpool in a second, but I want to ask you about Tottenham in terms of, do you think that they would be able to make it into the top 4, considering that at some point in time they will be the title deciders because they play Liverpool, Arsenal, and Man City before the end of the season? Do you think they have what it takes to get to top 4? And do you think they'll be able to determine who will win the Premier League title, or would they be beaten by all 3 teams?
For me, I think they will make the top 4.
Okay.
Unai Emery's Aston Villa, because they are in the Conference League, so I think it will be a very, very difficult game for him, because he will play the Conference League and we play the league at the same time. And Aston Villa will have to play Arsenal at the Emirates and Man City and the Etihad. So that those are difficult fixtures for me. All in all, I just think Tottenham will make the top 4. They'll make the top 4.
Okay, so while we're speaking on title deciders, What do you think about Liverpool's chances of winning the league this year? I mean, is it the fact that your signings during the transfer window have really propelled you to getting to this position? Or is it the young players that are really stepping up, giving the team an extra boost? What is it that exactly is making Liverpool so unstoppable at the moment?
It's Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp.
How
he
so?
He knows how to do it. Like, he has been here before. He's the only manager that has scored Bayern Munich for winning the league.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your comment, Stanley. We really will be looking forward to hearing from you again before the show is over. We're talking about the title race now. I want to look at the season so far. So, the one thing that separates the top three from everyone else is the quality of players they have. I made mention earlier on of the fact that the signings that Liverpool have made
propelled them.
Yeah. So, if I were to ask you, of the top three teams, who would you say would be your signing of the year? The player that has made the difference since they signed him in either Arsenal, Manchester City, or Liverpool?
For Arsenal, I'll pick two.
Okay.
For Arteta, for you to discard, Ramsdale, who was fantastic,
Right.
From the previous season, and brought in someone, from not really a top side, from Brentford, and now he's doing well. Remember, he saved, 2 penalties for them to get to the quarterfinal of the Champions League, and has been doing well. Remember, against Bradford, he wasn't there. There was so many umpire about how Ramsdale performed. And again, bringing the captain of a side, Declan Rice from West Ham.
A champion of the Europa League Conference League.
And when you bring winning mentality into your dressing room, it's always, rub off the players. And these two signings from Arteta from last season have actually been shining lights. When Declan Rice came in, they just left, they let go of Saka to Bayer Leverkusen. And of course, Partey will not get 2-3 games on the bounce for himself. He's always injured. So when you feel those two vacuum of these two great players in code with experience in the league and come to a new side and you're doing well, he has played more games, more minutes than any other Arsenal player this season,
right.
and Raya has done is incredible well. People are not missing Ramsdale. People are saying he's unjust to bench Ramsdale, but if you talk about Raya, you will not even have any problem about his performance. So I think for Arteta, he has brought 2 key players that are doing well, that are very obvious that are doing well in the league, and of course they are top of the table.
Neo, what would you say?
This is not the first time I'm meeting Pooja, by the way. Remember we were together in Cote d'Ivoire, right?
Yeah.
But it's funny how I'm here and I'm just sitting about you, talk in so much excitement about Arsenal. What's happening, bro? Like, I need to know. Like, I'm like, you're so excited. Like, look at you just going off. I set you up as an
anti-Arsenal person.
Look at him talking about Declan. Like, and I was going to say Declan, but he literally said everything. Like, he was just... Wow.
This is a one-off episode.
It's a spectacular episode, I must
love
say.
it. It's because
but like you said, Declan has to be the person for me because he came into, the team with like so much. I think he has to be the spirit because he was just someone that, he made things happen.
Right.
Like everyone was just in tune with him. Like it was amazing.
It was
like
a plug and play situation.
Exactly. Like he was just in spectacular places to just put the ball where it needs to be every single time. And I really love the wave that he came with, like maybe this is out of football.
Baba Yami.
Odumodu coming in, doing that whole thing. So it was just
that makes it the signing of the season.
Exactly, because
just the introduction,
everything was sweet.
Perfect.
And I love there's nothing I love so much about football than wanting to know more about a player from outside, like outside of the pitch, and I feel like Declan was that one person that, okay, as soon as he got into Arsenal, did his thing, Odumodu did his, I was like, okay, I need to look into this guy a bit, and it's just amazing.
It was perfect timing as well.
Perfect timing,
because when the song came out by Odumodu, I did be like Declan Rice.
Yeah,
he was still at West Ham, and then just around that period where he was about to leave, the talk started coming up, the Arsenal.
It was spectacular.
And then perfect timing, they used the song. It was perfect. For me, I would say, that's a major signing. But if you were to look at the other title contenders, let's let Arsenal rest first, because we are talking to, I feel like Ashake at the moment. It's lonely. But if you were to look at the other teams, Man City and Liverpool, what standout signing do you think they made?
So I'll go for McAllister because one, he knows the league.
Right.
He comes out of the blues and is a penalty taker, which is very key.
Yeah.
Coming from the league and doing well, but he's still very erratic.
He's a World Cup winner as well, so he's supposed to.
Yeah, supposed to.
He's supposed to come in with that effect.
Yeah, Gappa has not done enough for me. Superstar, okay, fine. They have
Injuries,
Thiago Silva, but McAllister and Nunes has been the key factor of where they are today. I can talk about the youngsters, but if you talk about the guys that have not been performing well from last 2 seasons, Elliott has not been getting more game time. Right. He's getting more game time, very effective. Nunes have been missing a lot of chances, not scoring chances, and McAllister, of course, all of it. So I won't just push McAllister because he's coming from the league. He knows the league very well, and experience-wise, that is why Trossard is doing well for Arsenal, because he knows the terrain.
Right.
So these 3 players for Liverpool now are the key factor of the energy club is bringing to the
team. Neo, we're talking about Man City now. Obviously, Man City is a team that no matter who they sign, the amount of players they already have is enough for even the player that they sign might not even start. You understand? But this season, we saw the introduction of Jeremy Doku. Yeah. Now, that boy is a roadrunner. But do you think Man City needed him to help them, or is he just in a team that with or without him they'll be good?
I cannot say Man City needed him or did not.
Man City needs nobody.
Yeah, they actually need nobody. They actually need nobody. But the thing is, you cannot deny the fact that he's a spectacular player on the pitch.
Wonderful player.
He's probably like one of those players that that he's not the same as every other player on the team, right? And you cannot deny the fact that he is someone that his gameplay is totally different. Like we're just talking about like his speed,
Yeah.
So I cannot say they don't need more speed, but I mean they're a good team and they are very, very on form.
He gives you something to worry about.
He gives you something to worry about. If he's on the pitch, you have to think about whether your defender can catch up with him or something.
Exactly.
He actually gives you something to worry about. But regardless of that, we already know that they are probably one of the they've been strong for a long time.
Very strong,
so
very strong.
I will say they actually needed him, to be very honest, because obviously he will definitely make them stronger. Even if it's in smallest percent, you get me. I thought I bad pass. You understand? So yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so too. When you come from last season and you have a Grealish with over £100 million. And you bring Doku to actually come to replace.
Bro.
That
money, this is
just the sound of that money, they shake my body.
And you have Doku to come and replace that kind of player. That means you needed another feel of because now it's all about the wingers. Even in world football now, wingers are the ones that are making it works now. And I think the Man City have a Haaland who is not that guy that will go for balls for you, always in the box. And you need wingers to actually produce those services for him. I think Doku now replaces Grealish because he has started more game than Grealish. So that means it was needed when he brought him to the team. And of course, like I said, most of these players have stepped up. Last season we saw Haaland scoring a lot of goals with Phil Foden being the second guy. But now Phil Foden looks like he's the first guy and Haaland is taking the second. So when you have a team like that, you can always not pick the best player in terms of signing, but the guys that have stepped up from last season to date.
But let's focus on the teams in the relegation battle. Starting with Luton Town. For me, Luton Town is a team that's flatters to deceive.
Yeah.
They're very entertaining. We no matter the game they're in, there'll be goals. They're not going to give up, but they never just win. It's so frustrating. It's ridiculous. Pooja, talk to me about Luton Town.
The funny thing about Luton is, when it comes to scoring goals at home, only I think only Spurs, Newcastle and Man City have scored more goals than Luton Town at home.
At home, yeah.
But when it comes to shipping goals, they've considered more goals than any other team on the log. So that means their defense is their Achilles heel. So they need to close shop. It's a big problem for them. I don't think they're going to find a way to fight it off because, when you're considering a lot of goals like that as a lesser team, it's a big problem.
Like he said, I feel you need to consider the psychological effect of being in relegation in the first place, right?
Right.
And it doesn't just boil down to who wants it more, is who doesn't want to die here, to be very honest. Because everyone
who's not ready to be relegated.
Because you are legit going to take, points and everything. So I feel like personally it has to just boil down to, like he said again, the psychological effect of, being in relegation because, it's messy.
It's a mental struggle.
It's almost like you are trying to you know, who is the best of the worst, you know, who is better than, you know, and it's crazy. But for why I think Luton Town, because I think regardless of the fact that they conceal less, they always want to score more. They always want to score. Regardless of the fact that they might lose, they want to put something in that, okay, fine, let it be 3-0. Instead of 3-0, let it be 3-2.
Surprisingly, Brentford are in the relegation conversation. They're currently 15th at the moment. They have minus 12 goals difference. They have 26 points. They are literally 5 points from being in the relegation zone in itself. We do know that Burnley play good football as well. When given a chance, they would like to express themselves.
It's high time for Vincent Kompany to jettison that play from the back, you know, good football or even sexy football.
Pass your way through.
Because you don't have the skill set, you don't have the quality. Against West Ham, you are 2 goals up. You needed that 3 points. And you are still playing, you know, the Pep Guardiola style.
Do you think that if he wasn't playing that style, they would be in this relegation
100%.
position?
Let me give you an example. For Brentford, they've considered 17 headed goals.
Wow.
This season. So for a manager that is fighting relegation, you should actually take that into your tactics. Lot of long balls. If it's Everton,
set pieces.
Everton we kill Brighton with a lot of long balls because
Yep.
they've considered 17 headed goal more than any team this season. And you will see a Burnley today, they'll be doing tiki-taka. You can't do tiki-taka. See, it's war. It's war now, just like Everton. It's war. See, load the ball, confuse your opponent, because at the end of the day...
You're right, because when Brentford played Arsenal, they considered 2 headed goals. It was one Declan Rice and Kai Havertz, and both were headed goals. That is actually true.
And you know, and once it happens to Arsenal, they run to the set piece manager and they hug him
because they planned for it.
So find a way to jettison the skillful. You don't have the skill set. You are not Man City. Of course, you play good football, but at the end of the day, because you don't have that high quality to retain the ball, as terms of the skill set of your players, you lose at the end of the day. You miss the point. 2 goals up against West Ham. Guy, just close the ball. Close the shop. But you continue to play the certain way and you consider 2 goals. And that's what I'm saying. For Luton Town, they scored 3 goals. They consider this, 4. For a team like Burnley again, they scored 2. They consider. So who wants it more? It looks like Luton and Burnley, they already, they made up their mind already.
They just want to enjoy themselves.
So if he fails to change that tactics, I think they are going to lose this game.
I cannot agree, to be very honest. I mean, clearly the whole season you have been doing the same thing and it's not working. You're in a place where it seems like if you don't, you have to change. Come on, if you're drowning and you see that this way is not working,
you find out that
I'm telling you, I'm telling you, and I feel like one of the things I love about relegation football, because it's so entertaining. Like you watch a match and you see that this team, this other one here, they just want to entertain. They want to play and make you laugh and just be happy for no reason. But to
be honest, Burnley are pretty much relegated. The rest of the teams are, with Burnley and Sheffield almost already relegated. The only other team that might be able to save themselves is Luton Town. Nottingham Forest might fall into that as well. Everton, minus points deduction, I don't think Everton should actually be in this conversation.
Yeah. For Everton, they can play all the kind of game. They can play the good football. They can play, if it's long ball, if
police ball.
If all chips are down, they know how to play as well. So I think I don't think they'll get relegated. And of course, for the manager they have, who can play any sort of game. At Burnley, he played when they were looking for points. When they deducted that point, he was playing good football. Yeah. And now that it seems like relegation is coming, they can play the other kind of football.
Everybody expects that the only time we should be gloating is when we do win stuff. And here is your chance to win some outstanding stuff. Once the bell sounds, you hear a sound in the studio. Once that sound goes up, that means it's time for our super sub question, which should be coming on in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. It's time for our super sub question. Here is the question of the week. Don't answer the question, guys. It's for them, not us. Because I know you people will know this one. Or maybe not, because Pooja likes to prove himself. All right, here's the question for the week. Arsenal were leading by how many points on the table when they beat Charlton Athletic 2-0 on the 2nd of March, 2003? The options are A, 11, B, 8, C, 6. That sounds like my grade in secondary school. C6. Wow.
Oh my God.
Okay, let's keep it moving. Terms and conditions apply, guys. All entries must have the hashtag Budweiser Kings of Football Show, hashtag the KOF Super Sub for you to qualify. Winners will be chosen at random, hence the need for you to use the hashtag so we can actually randomly select whoever we will win. Winner will get 50,000 naira cash. But it's only one person. All right, that's the Super Sub question of the week. So, well, we've kind of gone through most of the things that we wanted to talk about. But I do have some, underwhelming mentions that I want us to delve into. We mentioned great signings. Let's talk about terrible signings. You see, my guys, they don't like all these kind of things. Missing Mount. Men Mount, but missing no Mount. What's happened?
Terrible. I think injury-wise, it was not. I think it was not that player Erik ten Hag needs, at Man City, Man United. Look at how Havertz started as well, but of course, Arteta came coming back saying this is the kind of player I want, and he has turned the table around. But for Mason Mount, there was no time for them to turn it around because he was injured. He just got back, a few days ago.
At JGB.
and that's not good for a signing under. I think he went for like £60 million.
Yep.
And he has not played
almost same price as Kai Havertz.
Yeah, Kai Havertz, and he has not played.
Thank God Kai Havertz is performing.
Kai Havertz is £65 million though. So and Messi Mount has not played up to 10 matches, for out of 38 this season.
Wow.
So it's.
I mean, injuries haven't been kind to him as well.
But to commit to being the worst or flop of the season.
So amongst the worst players would definitely be one or two Chelsea signings. No.
I think so.
Who's the worst for you? Would it be Moises Caicedo or Mikhailo Mudryk?
I was gonna say Moises, but when you said injuries,
injuries as well.
Yeah, because I just thought about it now. Like I don't think he has really been given the chance.
And even when he hasn't really done much with it.
But still, you cannot take the effect of the injury on him. You understand? Like bad as he bad.
Consistency is
exactly
key. You also have
key,
to pick up form as well. Continuous play will help you sharpen your skills.
I don't think it's entirely his fault per se, but he could have just done better.
So not being fault saying
that's what he could have just done. Just show small walking.
You don't cast.
I think even with injuries, when you have few times to play, we should have the glimpse of that quality.
Yeah, you should be able to see what to expect, but he hasn't shown anything.
I get what you mean.
And I think for Modric, he has not been really rewarded. He plays well, and the next game Pochettino bench.
He's been unlucky.
Yeah, so I think back and forth. For Chelsea, I think it's Modric.
To be honest, I wouldn't say any of the Chelsea signings except for Jackson. Jackson is useless.
That was
Bro,
quick.
no, it's terrible.
No,
It's
see,
terrible. Do you agree that Jackson is
No,
useless?
the funny thing is, it came from Villarreal. And he didn't score he scored less than 10 goals.
In Villarreal. So
it's almost like they know what they were doing.
So why
they know what they were
not
exactly
demanding for him to just
too much.
blow up?
I get that.
It's your
Expectations.
third bully.
The only reason why I felt like it's worse is because he has missed a lot of big chances.
Oh my God. If we're to go into a more elaborate expansion of what is in terms of players of the season, manager of the season, has there been a goal of the season for you?
Yeah, I think so.
One or two?
No, I think one. I'll go.
Which one would that be?
I think I'll go with Garnacho.
The bicycle kick.
Yeah, the bicycle kick. I think
bicycle kicks are always
if you for
Do you think that was better than Weezer?
Rooney came out to say in terms of the technique, it was better. But in terms of the moment, occasion, his own was better because his own was in the Manchester derby.
Yeah.
But in terms of technique, it was so far.
It was against Luton Town, no?
No. I think against Fulham.
Was it Fulham or Everton?
Everton, against Everton. So it was.
I saw that goal on TikTok.
It was far away from the.
I saw that goal on TikTok.
And
to show you how bad it was,
bruh.
And it turned to a conversation that it got to the club legends, and they need to find a way to debate about it. My best this season.
Would you say it was better than Weezer, the Brentford player? He did a bicycle kick as well.
That was not clean. It wasn't clean. The ball was, it was just bouncing around and he just did it.
Neo, what would you say would be your goal?
I think this goal, because I remember actually seeing this goal on
it was
TikTok.
a great goal.
It was mad. I like bicycle kicks are like you have to watch to see how
they call it Sangalu.
Shagalu.
Shagalu.
You understand? You know, look back.
You can break your arm. You know.
Yeah, if you don't have the right technique
you
for it,
can
yeah.
break your neck.
Yeah,
your
yeah.
spine can actually get affected. So I think it's a very risky skill.
It's a risky skill. I even saw it in a game recently. A goal was disallowed because the foot was too high and almost endangered the player.
Yeah.
So it's a risky thing to do, but when it comes
you
off,
put it off, it's beautiful. Trust me. So
wonderful.
I think it's spectacular, man.
Has any Arsenal players ever scored a bicycle kick? Well, we have a scorpion kick. But
scorpion kick.
Let's leave that
No,
one.
that one-
Score flying.
And that was the best, best goal in the world.
In the world,
Puskas.
True.
Yeah,
Puskas
won
Award.
Yeah.
Nigerian Scouts. So, what's your take on goal of the season? Do you agree that Garnacho should get that?
Goal of the season definitely has to be Garnacho. I mean, as much as I hate to say it, it's between that or Alexis McAllister's goal versus Fulham. If we are talking techniques, but Garnacho's goal just edges it because the bicycle kick is something else.
Okay. Did you give me your signing or worst signing of the season?
But I'm agree with Chelsea fans and say it's Cole Palmer just because of the effect he has had as shitty as their season has been.
That's fair enough. Although I might have my own take on that, but I'll accept it. I'll accept it. If you were to say who would win the league today, who would you say? Without being biased as per the team you support.
Purely based off momentum, they have to say is Arsenal.
Bye.
God bless you, bro.
That's all I needed from you.
God bless you.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for us to get to our Joker segment of the week. It's a question that we ask lightheartedly. And I'd like to get your opinion on this question. The question is, who's your favorite street won't forget player? Say, this player, streets love him, the guy they run.
He did.
They just say, give me one. I mean, for me.
Okay. For me, I ran, a viewing center in school.
Okay.
And one name, Igwe. Kai. My viewing center was named Stamford Bridge. And during that time, my undergraduate, Arsenal won lots of stuff. And
Igwe Tananta.
No. Once he caught, there's a particular way he scores.
Yeah, side places on the side.
So
now.
once he
opened his body like this.
and Igwe was in the tongue of everybody.
Thierry Henry.
And it tormented, Biola Kazim said it. It tormented everybody. And that's why, streetwise.
I'm also so proud of the fact that when he came to Nigeria, he was told of his name Igwe.
Yeah.
Right.
And every time he's on whether it's Sky Sports or CBS or wherever he is, he always reminds them, Igwe.
Yeah.
Igwe. Even when he was with Burna Boy on one of the broadcasts, it was like, you know what they call me in Nigeria? Igwe.
It didn't stick, man.
For you, who would it be?
Like,
The
I
one
was
person
not
that you
gonna
can't
say.
forget.
I was not gonna say Igwe.
Who
Because
are you
God
gonna
knows say people day
sure.
Chevy people day. You understand?
Chevy.
Yeah, Chevy
Chevy,
day now. People day. You understand?
drug
But
lord,
Igwe, you don't say
drug
get
back.
out. You know.
They call Ramirez Android.
Even Makalele as well. Remember that? He had a very. But if you were to pick a Nigerian,
Okay, Nigeria.
if you were to say a Nigerian player that streets will never forget,
Kanu.
in terms of their performance for club,
Kanu Uncle.
so I would go with Daniel Amokachi, the bull.
I'll go Kanu Uncle.
Yeah.
I'll go Kanu. I'll go Kanu Uncle.
I think Papilo.
Papilo any day.
Streets will never forget Papilo.
Now Papilo make you start to drink.
No, it's Kano.
It has to be Papilo.
And
I feel like it was not just football. Sorry to cut you short, because you cannot take away the humanitarian side of him. Like, that's one thing I say. Like, I love a footballer that will make me gain so much interest that I want to take interest in your personal life. And for me to look at Kanu and I see what he's doing with his foundation and everything, you just know, say, man, there's too many things to love.
I haven't gone through that whole heart situation as well,
and using that as a way to give. There's so many things.
Kano won the FA Cup with Portsmouth. Guy.
That's legendary in itself. I know, right?
No,
but if you look at it, I mean, he's never going to be given the credit of being the most skillful Nigerian player.
I don't
I mean, I think JJ Okocha would take that easily.
Of course.
But in terms of just sheer presence, I mean, I think I've seen a match where
Star power.
He was playing in his latter stages of his career, and he was playing in a match in Nigeria, and I think in Abuja or something, and the opposing player kind of tackled him rough or something. He literally just pushed the guy and slapped him like, what's wrong with you? And the ref came to him like, sorry, Mr. Kanu, he won't do it again. I was like, yo, the amount of respect that he garners from not just his teammates or his fans, from opposition as well, even referees,
from people who have even
everybody.
done before him.
Yeah, I think I'll give
and
it to
shout out to him.
Kanu.
He's currently the chairman of Yimba FC.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
And the coach of the side is actually his teammate, Finidi George. So
they're keeping it in the house.
I think streetwise, he moved from being a professional, being loved outside and in, on the pitch, and now he's now the club of the biggest club in Nigeria.
Right now, yeah.
I think it's for that streetwise, it works well for him.
That's
all right. So, in a nutshell, it's been one of those shows that we enjoy doing because we've had the freedom to be able to express ourselves, talk about the season so far. Neo, let's give you the last word. What do you have to say about what will be transpiring in the coming weeks? I know you're heading out of Nigeria shortly. You're going to be doing your thing at Cape Town with clear internet connection. But yeah, last words from you. I hope you enjoyed the show.
I enjoyed the show, man. It's my first time here, and I feel like coming back here and bouncing and just bouncing just makes me miss, how much time I used to put into football and everything. Yeah. But I mean, it's great to just share and rub minds with like tough people like Pooja. All these men there. Now people like this one, I say, if you see them, they get about football, don't try.
Just move.
Avoid them.
Because they are history book. They'll take you back to 1950.
It's nice to have this conversation out here, man.
Thanks for coming through. I know you have a busy schedule.
I had a good time.
And I know you're going to be, busting out of here real quick, but we appreciate you for taking time out.
Thank you so much for having me,
not just myself, but Budweiser as a brand. We appreciate you.
I appreciate
we're glad to have you here.
Appreciate that.
Pooja, last words.
I think this episode bring a new feel. It's enough. Let's talk about the top. Who go win the league? I think let's take a look at the relegation battle.
Yeah.
I think that is where. And this week they have shown us that they are not going to show us the big games
at all.
You feel like this was going to have a lot of entertaining football.
Yeah, you'll be forced to watch those relegation teams, and I think it is a good fit to have it on the show as well. And of course for Neo, I took a picture in Cote d'Ivoire, signing that.
I know, right?
You can send a mail. You have to buy it. But it's good to.
They're still running business here.
Good to be on the show. Good to return back to the show. And of course, I always love doing it back to back.
Yeah, back to back. He was virtually with us yesterday. Now, not yesterday, last week, and now he's in studio. You always have a way of, teleporting yourself here. We appreciate you, especially Tottenham fans. You are the only representation here. If not for you, we would not be talking about Tottenham. All right, Kings, remember your favorite show will be back on YouTube this Monday at, of course, it's the 18th, right? Monday's the 18th? Yeah, Monday the 18th. You will be able to catch this episode on YouTube. And of course, my fellow Kings in Enugu, Delta, Abia, Cross Rivers, Port Harcourt, Akwa Ibom, and Imo State. Don't forget to catch us on your TV screens on Thursday, 10 p.m. And of course, you stand a chance to win amazing prizes as well. Remember, you can join us live on X Space every Saturday at 11 a.m. Follow us on our social media platforms. That is at Budweiser Nigeria on Facebook and IG, as well as Budweiser NG on X Space. Now, don't you ever forget that your Premier League experience is really not complete without the smooth beer. Remember, smooth is yours to take. I'm Jimmy saying thanks for joining us. Peace, love, and respect.